it's working. Okay. In theory, it's working. All right, I think I'm set up. There are two people here. One of them's me on my computer. All right. Well, I'm just gonna get started. So, create a new session from my template, and I'm just gonna start with a pad. Come up with a pad sound, and that's what I'm feeling today. Let me turn this so you can see I'm working on Serum. Okay. Don't like this shape for today. Let's go with the 106. A little smoother. And we want to make this a pad sound, but I want it to be pretty quick attack. So okay, that's kind of neat. It's interesting. Okay, let's put a filter on it. Let's do like a slow slope. That's a little, maybe a little steeper. Okay, cool. Attach an envelope to that. And let's just give it a little bit of a slower attack. It's interesting. Okay. Just trying to find a sound I can vibe with to start the idea. So that's okay. Let's widen it out a bit since this is a pad, so I'm going to add some more voices. Oh, I like this key. Okay. I think that release could be a bit longer. Let's add a secondary oscillator. I'm going to add something a little more stable, more like maybe something close to a sine wave. This one actually should work. Well, that's nice, gives it a little depth. And let's also widen that out. Logan Sharp. Hey Logan. I guess I don't have to type if I'm talking. Sorry, bear with me. I don't know what I'm doing, but glad you're here. Yeah. Woo, that's feeling better. Let's maybe widen out this second oscillator. Woohoo! That's cool already. It's a little too detuned, but let's blend it more. Okay, what else? Let's add some modulation here. On the pitch. Make this a little wobbly. Ooh, that's nice. I want to slow that LFO down a little bit here. I know you probably can't see too well, but whew. Let's go further with it. So I'm just using the chaos modulator, and I'm modulating the fine tuning of the A oscillator, which is super cool. I love that. And you can do X, Y on serum. So I'm going to do X, so that's the side-to-side movement, and then the vertical, I'm going to use that to modulate the second oscillator so that they're not modulating at the same rate. And let's see what that does. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, kind of like that groove already. What else here? I'm a huge fan of the Serum 2 distortion, so I'm going to add some of that. Although with pads, it's not as effective. Well, it's kind of nice. It really like tightens up the low mids. That's a little much for me, but what else we can do? Modulate the filter cutoff with the same thing, the chaos modulator, and that can just give it a bit of that analog feel because the filter's not consistent. Maybe a little bit less. Oops. Let's modulate the reso on the filter with the Y parameter. I think this is a good starting point already. I'm just going to add a couple things here. I like to modulate the filter frequency with the mod wheel, which that's way too much. Let's pull it back. So I gotta do some gain staging. Is that FL? No, it's Pro Tools, unfortunately. I'm a real old dude, and I just have been on Pro Tools for, well, like 20 years. So I just can't get away from it just because I'm so used to it. But no, it is Pro Tools, unfortunately. I know I get a lot of flack for that, so I'm just going to say that in the chat. Okay. Okay, we are driving something here. Got to do some gain staging. And we can see right here, both these oscillators are coming in hot. Oh, hey, France. You made it. Okay. Still hearing a little bit of gain staging issues. It's back a touch. That's a little better. This is the best angle. Let me pull the camera closer here. You can see what I'm doing specifically on the DAW. Okay, I'm just going to add a little bit of probably some reverb and delay, and then we can start trying to come up with a chord progression. It's nice. Well, it kind of like moves to the middle. I want to widen that out. That's better. I'm also going to modulate the drive on the distortion with the mod wheel so that it increases as I go. Honestly, that's probably a good place to start. Okay, let's get a tempo here. I'm feeling like a... All right, let's show some keyboard since I'm at that stage. This is sticking in my head for some reason. So it looks like key of A flat minor or B. Alright, I like that. Let's track it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then when I'm usually getting a B flat, I think, no, I'm in B, so A flat minor is a relative minor to B major. So here's a B, there's a B major chord, so yeah. Let me know if that makes sense. Or maybe, because B flat major would be the key of G minor, yeah. Let me know if that makes sense. At least that's how I'm looking at it. So, you'll see. Right. Okay. Or are you suggesting I go to B flat? Because I'm happy to go to B flat. That would put me in F sharp or G minor, yeah. So that would be, we could do that too. Oops, if I could play it. That would be the equivalent. Let's see what sounds better. Again, if I could play it. That's roughly what I was playing. That is nice. That is nice. Let me hear it one more time in the original. Ah! What did I say I was playing? A flat, yeah. Hey from SoCal. Hey from Canada. Way north. Octave lower? Oh my goodness, that's gonna be so deep. I unfortunately have this clunky old synth, so I'm gonna do octave lower on the synth patch itself. Because this old DX7 doesn't have transpose for MIDI. Oh my goodness, that might be a bit deep for me. If I can play it right. Yeah, it's a little boomy. I'm gonna bring it back up. Okay. I think I'm gonna stick with this original A flat minor. So usually when I'm at this stage, I just like to get like a kind of like a, not the intro, like a main section built, and then I reverse engineer from there. So I'm just gonna start building that. If I can play it properly. To add maybe the second time through, that would be cool. The 3 minor. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get this laid down first, and then we'll try an octave lower again, see if we can, because I think it's gonna take some pretty solid scooping out the bottom end. So I like that add 9 in there. First time, keep it open. Oh, I like that. Let's do that. I have to delete my whole other take. 2, 3, 4. little loop out of that for now, just to get started. I'm gonna go back to my computer for a bit. Okay. So I usually just at the beginning, I just quantize so I can loop, but I do like to go back and replay everything just so I can sound less like an AI generated artist, obviously. So, but for now, we're just gonna quantize so it's easily loopable. Feels like it's dragging a bit. That's because my timing is terrible. Let's just fix this one. Did I ever go to 16th? What even is that? Oh, geez, I did triplet time. Whoopsies. I totally screwed this up. Okay, let's just undo. Okay, let's do this properly this time. Oh, and I'm gonna preserve note duration. So we'll replay this later. Typically with a part like this, I like to replay once I have the layout and I'm riding the mod wheel the whole time, so there's lots of variation. Gives it a more human feel. Out of time. Okay, that's cool. I obviously cut off the mod wheel. Let's see here. Let's just take this note and just make it consistent. Actually, right there. Let me just kill that. Timing is emotional. I agree. I think like that's a easy win to give it a more human feel. It's just to, you know, play it live and yeah, just introduces a lot more feel. Another thing I like to do is, actually I don't do this too often, but velocity modulators I think are useful for that. I'm gonna add one to the filter cutoff. So if I'm playing harder, the filter will open a little bit, giving it a little bit more like intensity. Okay, I don't know, we'll start there. I think next up, let's do a bass. I'm just gonna open my template here. And what I do with my template is I usually look through my old songs, see if there's one that's like kind of in the realm of what I'm feeling today. And then I just duplicate the session, but then I clear out like most of the audio and like start over, but a lot of the sounds could be loaded up. But having said that, with like basses and pads, I usually like to rewrite them from scratch. So let's see if we can get nice and close here for Serum. It's about as good as I can do. Okay. I'm gonna be lazy at the start and just do an ARP. Oh my goodness, that's terrible. Let's just start by dropping that an octave and immediately putting on a filter, and then we'll adjust from there. Okay, and we need 8th note groove, I think. Yeah, that's the vibe. Okay. Cool. I don't know how audible that is through the phone speakers, but if we get out of the ARP, what we can do is add a envelope to the filter so that it automatically opens with every note. Yeah, I mean, the tricky part with like, I get what you're saying with the drums. But yeah, I mean, there's a few tricky things like such as timings of side chains and whatnot. I think little imperfections. I like to do things, especially on my hats, where I do like a bit of, I either play them on the keyboard and then I don't fully quantize them. I'll do like a 75%. Or if it's something I drew, then you can randomize it by another 20-25%. That can help, but yeah. I mean, there's trade-offs either way, right? Like sometimes it's nice to have things, for utility reasons, to have them fully quantized. But sometimes it's nice to have a little more emotion. Depends what you like. I think it just depends on the circumstance. But okay, so let's get back to some bass. It's kind of neat. Okay, I'll just get that tracked, and then that way I can loop it and we can play with the sound. Here we go. Would help if I played it right. Let's just loop this last bit here. And oops, is that right? No, here. Actually, let's loop the front half. Again, this will all be replayed afterwards, but while we're just generating the idea, this is good enough. I agree. Like, there's so much you can do at home. So like I come from like in my 20s, I was gigging full time and producing a little bit, but most of my 30s I was producing full time, and I owned a recording studio, and you know, maybe there was a time where that was necessary, but yeah, like there's so much you can do at home now that it's like so much more cost effective to be able to do some at home, and then do things like you mentioned, drums. Drums are totally key. I'm gonna put that drums are key. If you want an organic vibe, if you just want programmed drums, then that sound, then you don't necessarily need to go to studio. But again, it's all about like the sound you're looking for, and also the experience of how you want to feel and the experience you want to have making the music. So yeah. LFO is a little heavy for me right at this stage. Love it, dude. Okay, yeah, like, I mean, you know what's interesting about wanting to change the world with one song is like, I'm finding lately that like, sometimes it's almost easier just to like, I mean, I put out a stupid amount of music, and I think it's like it's building, to me, I look at it as like building catalog, so I'm not necessarily changing the world with one song. If it happens, great, but I think the way I always look at it is like, I'm just trying to build a repertoire, build a catalog of music that I enjoy. If other people like it, great, but just want to, I don't know, for me, I'm like, it's like, I guess I'm 39, so my priorities are a lot different these days, but I'm just trying to have fun making music, and that's about it. So, and if other people enjoy it, that's great. Okay, I'm gonna make this a little more pumpy, this bass, so I'm shortening the decay time. I usually start around kind of 300 milliseconds on the decay. That feels a little tight to me. It's probably because the tempo's a little slower. I guess you could do this too if you really want to get nerdy about it. I'm sitting at 101 beats per minute, so you could do 60 seconds divided by 101 beats. So that means 594 milliseconds for a quarter note and 297 for an eighth note. That still feels, I don't know. I don't really like doing it that way too often. I just like how it feels. So I'm just gonna isolate this for a second and try to dial it in. It's mostly the first envelope. I look like, that's awesome. I actually don't know who that is, but I mean, Stray Kids obviously, but yeah, I'll look that up later. Yeah, I don't know, maybe it's a dirty mustache or something, but okay. So the other thing I've got going on here, let's see, is this very visible? I have a VU meter, which is, I suppose, a somewhat outdated technology, but that's how I use to like kind of manage my levels. So I'm just looking for 0 VU as an average signal here. So first off, I'm probably going to get there. You'll see I love just throwing on Seron's distortion. I'm pretty near 0 VU anyways. That attack on the envelope 2 is a little short for me. Or maybe it's just how much it opens. I missed the context on those speakers. LFO for now. Okay, that's kind of cool. What else can we do here? I think we could add another oscillator. I do like the default sawtooth, but what else do I want to do? Default shapes are just so useful sometimes. Sometimes a triangle up an octave is nice, because a triangle I find has a very rounded sound, closer to a sine wave. So pairing that with a sawtooth is nice. Of course, now I'm driving the hell out of the bus. Or the out. Okay, and I'm going to do my same thing here. I do this a lot lately with these chaos modulators. I just find them so interesting sounding. So modulate the pitches and probably the reso on the filter, or I guess the frequency and the reso. But I don't want to modulate the pitch too much on the basses because that can create phase issues. Yeah, I got to figure out how to get like the actual Pro Tools audio. I just wanted to try this first to keep it simple. But yeah, I'm sure the bass just sounds hilariously bad through the phone. But it feels good out here. Okay, and when we're ready, we'll assign the modulators for the sorry. Mod wheel is going to the filter cutoff, and the No, we don't want it to go to the reso. Why did I do that? Jesus Christ, die for you. Okay. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. It looks like my neighbors across the street left their garage open and a police officer just showed up to check. Well, I guess he's keeping the neighborhood safe. Okay, so we'll leave that modulator. We're still recording. Okay, that's cool. That'll be useful later. I'm going to do the same thing on the effects drive. Or sorry, the distortion drive. That's probably way too much. Okay, let's see those together. I love how this music production live stream is turned into talks about the rapture and beers. Yeah, cool. Okay, I do have a tape that I'm gonna put on the bass. Generally like doing this, so this bass is feeling pretty thick. I'm gonna leave it stereo for now. Okay, it's a foundation. What do I want to work on next? How many people? Oh, there's 9 people in here. Crazy. I don't feel like doing drums yet, so I'm gonna work on. Let's do an ARP. As you can probably tell, I'm obsessed with ARPs, so. Now, I don't know if we're going to draw it or we're going to use the Serum 2's arpeggiator, but let's just figure something out here. Okay. I'm just going to start from scratch here. And let's just drag the, so I'm dragging the MIDI from the pad down just to get a sound. And then maybe then I'll decide if I want to do, play a different part or draw it out. Yeah. So let's start by just focusing on this for a sec. Oh my goodness. Where are we here? Oh, I gotta turn it on. I guess we need to lengthen these. Okay, and we'll just take those first 4 bars and loop them. Okay, and what is going on here? Turn the art on. Interesting sounds. And oh, I think we got to kill the sustain, I'm assuming. No, there's no sustain. Just give this a little bit of a gap. Okay. Actually, let's do this. I'm going to select all and just give them a little bit of gap because I find sometimes the serum arpeggiator gets a little confused. I've never used down up, but I actually don't mind that. Okay. Let's get away from this shape. Let's try something more, a little, almost square. How loud is this? It's okay. I probably want it up an octave because it's going to be kind of close to the pads. Or up a semitone. Jeez, that sounds terrible. That's a Nintendo sound for sure, yeah. I'm all about that Nintendo. Apparently. That's nice. Now that I hear that, this is feeling like a 2017 pop song to me. So I'm going to try darkening it up. It's just a little too bright for me right now. So I'm going to start by darkening up the pad. I want it to be a little more chill. Hell yeah, 2030 music. That's the last thing I ever want to hear about my music is it makes someone want to buy things on Cameo. All right, well, we got work to do then, yeah. There we go, that feels better. Timmy was looking for a song. I mean, hey, I'll take a sync from them for sure. I mean, syncs can be good, but yeah, let's try to avoid making jingles here to make some actual music. Now I don't know. How do you do that? How do you avoid that? I don't know. Fair enough. I'm not it's a thing, it's just not what I want to do. I have done it before. And I suppose it pays well. I've done it before, but yeah, that's not what we're here for, right? I don't like this second oscillator. I haven't done like a high, kind of twinkly, pretty shimmery ARP in a while, so maybe that's it. Maybe that's the vibe. Yeah. Awesome. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, I didn't know what to expect here, so I'm glad you're enjoying it. Mr. Babbage's opus. Oh my god. I knew this was gonna happen, but like this morning I got that chord feeling, like that chord just progression stuck in my head. And I swear that's like something from like 2018, like the four chords of 4, 6, 5. It just like was so popular, maybe 2015 even. And it just got stuck in my head, and that's all I can think of right now is this sounds like 2015, but it's interesting, I don't know. Once I kill the bass, I'm more interested for sure. As I do on everything, just tube distortion. I don't know, everything sounds better with distortion to me. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Let's do remove modulator. Just kind of setting everything up for when I go back and play it again. Although the arpeggio, I don't mind the sound of it with using Serum's arpeggio. And do need a battery charger. So I might not replay the arpeggio just because it will be quantized because of Serum's arpeggiator. But just kind of setting it up. I still will go back and record the mod wheel automation because I think that's always interesting. Even if you're not playing the part, if you're just recording the mod wheel by hand, I find that really adds a lot. So, for example, I don't know how well you can hear that. Let me turn up the ARP, but I've just, oh, and I didn't add it to the filter. But it's a nice way to add, like, just kind of give a little energy. So here's the ARP, and I'll just kind of open the mod wheel. It just allows you to kind of create moments, which is cool. So we'll set that up for later. Maybe it's just that the bass is too loud. I might try a second bass that is following the rhythm of the chords. Boom, 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 something like that. So let's create another track and call it bass 2. Also, I'm not very exciting. I basically use like 5 plugins. That's about it. I don't know. I'm just not overly interested in having a lot of tools. I just like keeping it simple. So you're going to see the same stuff over and over here. All right, let's just get a basic sound going. No pun intended. That is beefy, holy. Let's get something a little sharper maybe just to help out. Let's go down 1 octave. Oh my goodness. That sounds awful. Okay, envelope 1 on Serum and Serum 2 is attached to the master, kind of like master volume, so I'm just going to round that out a bit. I should try selling something near me to the camera while the song plays as a test. Is this fancy e-commerce stuff that I'm just not aware of, so maybe one day. I don't know. For now, let's just make some music. Yeah. Oh my god. Well, I mean that's cool. Like I guess, yeah, you probably have lots of machines making beat boops. These days, I say, when people ask me what I do for a living, I say I sit in my basement and make beat boops. So I'm sure you get lots of beat boops at the clinic where you work. Yeah. Yeah, this might sound extra 2015 if I do this, but I'm digging it. So let's see what happens. I'm just not going to bother showing my keyboard. It's a simple part. I haven't got a Korg Triton. To be honest, like I've got a Yamaha DX7 sitting here, which is like a vintage kind of sought after. I mean, I shouldn't say sought after. It's a classic, and I just like. It's just. I just have more fun creating stuff in the box because then I can change it later. I can sculpt it later. So I like virtually never use analog synths anymore. I just find it too restricting. So I used to own a. I used to own a decent sized recording studio, and we had so many different like compressors, preamps. We had a SSL like line mixer, the SSL Matrix. We had 50 some microphones and all these different tools, and I actually found it slowed us down in the work because you spend so much time like trying things and you never really specialize in anything. So since that closed, I have found that the less tools I have, the more I focus on the ones that work for me and the better I get with them. And like, I remember when I first got Serum, I didn't understand wavetables and LFOs and envelopes, and like I had a rudimentary understanding, but not like to the point I do now. And just by doing it and doing it and doing it, I feel like I know this plugin inside out now, and it does everything, at least that I want to do. So that's my super long answer as to why I don't have a Korg Triton. I just essentially a MIDI controller. That's how I'm using my DX7. That's essentially all I need. I'm trying to keep it as low profile as possible, you know. Anyway, rambling. Let's do some bass here. 3, 4. Okay, good enough for now? And again, I'm gonna replay this later, so. Cool, good enough for now. I kind of prefer that to oh my lord, that's a loaded sentence. Jesus. Well, I guess I've been married for a long time, so I do it in a different way, let's say. Yeah. I stick with wine. Yeah. But no judgment. Okay, let's work on this sound. It's a little too dark for me. I'm sure it's probably not even coming through the speakers through the phone microphone very well. So so I got a triangle here. And like I mentioned before, triangles are typically don't have a whole lot of top. I do like it though. It tacks a little quick. So we can, again, add some distortion to help bring some top end in. Not really. No, I'm not digging that. Bye-bye. So let's blend in something else, and definitely not that. That sounds terrible. Let's go basic mini. That's funny. No, my wife's great. Yeah, she left. She's like, I'll give you some space so you can be loud. Mainly because working from home now, since COVID, I have to work through like kids screaming. Like I have a 3-year-old, a 5-year-old, and an 8-year-old, and yeah, and then my dog. So they decided to leave the house for this first try. So okay, that's kind of cool. I do like how it's mono. I think that's maybe helping. It's still not very sharp though. Maybe we just need to open the filter a bit. So I'll modulate it with an envelope. So this is just the filter frequency. I don't like that reso. It's kind of nice. Oh my goodness, we need the gain stage. Oh my god. Just a good 10 dB above 0. Okay, let's see how that feels with the rest of the instruments. To be honest, I don't like the top end. I think actually maybe in this case it should be a little darker. I think the decay should be a little longer, or the release on the first envelope. Maybe we should shorten this to the 297 number we calculated earlier. So just for a refresher, the tempo is 101, so I'm calculating the decay time or the time of a quarter note. So we go 60 seconds divided by 101, so that gives us 594 milliseconds for a quarter note. So actually, maybe we should use that. If you wanted to do a eighth note, you just divide by 2, and that's 297. But I think we actually want a quarter note. Do we? I'm gonna try 297. So that's for eighth notes, yeah. It does feel good. Okay, I'm gonna stick with that sound. Okay, I don't know why, but I lately really like bringing in drums later. I think it helps me focus on the melodic content of the song, like just the harmony and the feel and whatnot. So I'm gonna add in just kind of like a ambient guitar. We'll see what this sounds like. I don't know. Maybe I'll turn a little bit here so I can show. Sounds like an outro. Okay, yeah. That could be cool actually, yeah, ending that way. Okay. What key are we in again? Okay. I'm just gonna loop it and see if I can just kind of catch a vibe. That's really all I'm looking for. That was cool. Must be mirroring because I'm a right-handed, like regular. I mean, I guess this is my left hand, so regular, not a lefty guitar player, yeah. Work that out. That's kind of neat. moment. Okay, this the guitar is the thing, I guess. Okay. I'm digging that. Let's see what that sounds like over top. Okay, I kind of want to vary that a little further. So I'm going to duplicate this whole section so we have, it's kind of like 2 chunks right now. I'm going to do in 4. See if I can develop it a little bit more. Okay. Gotta work out that last part. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Okay. I'm missing something here. What is it? Oh, yeah, ARP. Oh my god. Okay, I think that'll work. Maybe what I'll do is the first half, I'll play this part as I did. So it's essentially the first half is like one chunk of it, and then I'm just playing it again. And then what we could do is we could do this with plugins, or I could just play it. Actually, I don't think I'll be able to. I was going to say play it up an octave, but maybe we could play that on the synth and give it like, so the second time it plays through, it like steps forward a little bit. Because if I just play that twice, it's just going to lose its meaning. I should probably check my tuning. But, and if you're curious what plugin I'm using, I'm just using the Neural DSP Corey Wong plugin, which I pretty much use for everything because it's awesome. I'm quite filtered here, so like I have a little bit, it's quite a bit of a vintage verb, then quite a heavy filter, as you can see. I'm cutting off a lot of top and bottom, and then just a limiter to keep the dynamics in check. But okay, let's record this. Okay. No pressure. Okay, that should do it. Still can see okay. Okay. now I gotta, that's right. Oh, thank you very much. Okay, so we're gonna route that to our guitar bus. Yeah, let's just, mono amp. So let me get a little organized here with all my guitar tracks. So get rid of that one. And send that to guitars. This is mono amp guitar. And guitars are green. It's just the way it is. So. Cool. I think that could use a bit of an LFO, just so it pumps a little bit. Okay, so this is something I always struggle with, is that I use the LFO tool just because it's so easy, but it's on a symmetrical basis, so it's good for like 4 on the floor, like. But if it's a drum beat that has offbeat rhythms, then I find it not as effective, obviously, because the rhythms are not symmetrical. Turn guitar level down. It's pretty loud. You're not wrong. It's probably also coming through pretty hot because it's a mid-level instrument. So this is another thing I'll do, like just on a side note. I have this filter here, and this is not unlike the filter in Serum. So let's take the ARP. I should maybe switch this up one day, but I usually put the ARP on the right side lately, and the guitar, if I have like the I always have like an ambient guitar like that, I'll put that on the left side, just so they have some separation. I'll mono sum them down. And when I do that, like I was talking about earlier, where you could take the ARP and you could ride it, like. Okay. Anyway, you can use the mod wheel to open up the ARP. But what I can also do, I don't really have that option on the guitar as in terms of like I guess there's ways you could do it. You could get a fader and automate it. But sometimes I'll just like I'll enable automation on the EQ for this, and say I'll do something like, it's going to be a little more robotic, but if I go to the second half, then I can open up the filter a bit, and the guitar will brighten up and it'll give it more energy. So I'll just play that, like this crossover between these sections, and just listen for the guitar to brighten up. I'll do it a lot, probably more than I would do, just so you can hear. That's way more than I normally do, and it'd probably be smoother, but you get the idea. So that can be a way to kind of help the song like have a little more intensity. Like, I don't know how to label my songs, because there's like I come from the world of pop music. Like, I was a pop music producer forever, and it used to be like intro, chorus, verse, maybe a pre-chorus, verse 2, blah blah blah. These days I just label them A, B, C, D. So yeah, like, I like to think of my songs. I usually have like some type of intro. I'm struggling actually to find more creative intros, and then I just look at like 3 or 4 sections increasing in intensity, and then a breakdown to sort of give the listener a moment to pause, and then building it back up for an ending. And so that's some of the ways I do it, is like you add more parts in, open up filters, maybe increase pitch or like duplicate parts or whatnot. So that's one thing I'll be doing. Okay, anyway, I'm rambling. Can I reduce the guitar? Yeah, so the guitar reverb is sitting right here. So there's a few stages. Let me send this right. So this particular reverb that I have up is right on the channel strip. Maybe I'll blow the channel strip. I don't know how well you can see that, but so it's right on the channel strip, and it is quite heavy. But and then I also am sending to a auxiliary delay and an auxiliary verb. And typically what I do is the channel strip is off to the left, but the auxiliaries are still stereo. So the more I bring in the verb, it widens the guitar out, but only with an ambient sound. So take it down 90%. I'll just, I think it's probably easier to just shut it off. So just to show you the difference. So here's completely dry. Sorry, I've got the, yeah. Jeez, that's boring. Yeah, I can walk you through the chain here. So here's just the Corey Wong amp. Pretty, just like a lightly distorted guitar. Then the first stage of reverb. Which is still a fair amount. And then a heavy filter. And then I have a limiter just to manage peaks. LFO tool for a little bit of the breathing. And then with the auxiliaries back in. Sounds like a lot on its own, but when you put it in the mix, when I disengage the solo, it actually, I find it really, really helps. So, yeah. Okay, let me just kind of blend these together, and it might be a good time to start drums. You know, like, okay, Uncle Chunky, love it. I usually prefer your songs that don't, well, I don't have any that don't have guitar, but I totally get it. I totally get it. This is my, like, something I struggle with because, like, I usually, like, I'm a guitar player. I've been playing forever, like 29 years, and it's like my main instrument, and it's what I love to do. But I do love this, like, futuristic sound, or at least I think of it as futuristic. Like, you know, some of my older influences in that would be like classic ones like Daft Punk, but, like, you know, stuff that I hear nowadays that in like Chillsynth, Chillwave. I'm not huge on Synthwave, like, and my distinction is like the really intense stuff that sounds like kind of like dark synth and like the modern Synthwave. It's I think it's cool, but it's not quite my vibe. But yeah, I just don't know what to do because I love guitar, but every time I add guitar in, I'm like, it's not as cool. So I totally understand what you're saying, and I actually feel that way, but I also like can't not do it because that's what I love to do. So thank you for saying that. But yeah, and I like totally get it. But yeah, I don't know. I gotta play guitar. I don't know. It's just kind of it's been a part of my life forever. So, but yeah, thanks for coming in. Okay, let's get some drums in. So before I do that, I'm just gonna, just so I can keep my CPU low, just gonna freeze up those instruments we have for now. Yeah, it's, I don't know, it happened quick. Guitar became not very cool. I try to like show my kids guitar, like, cause when I was a kid, learning guitar was like the coolest thing ever. And I try to show my kids guitar, and they're just like, "Nah, Daddy, we're good, bud." Yeah. So, yeah, I'm I'm getting old. I think a song like Echoes wouldn't sound... Well, okay, so Echoes is a good example. Like, I'm trying to modify my sound to, like, I want to be able to play these live. I'll play, like, I'll do a DJ set, but I want to play with a band. That's what I love doing. And I'm like, so I'm trying to like modify my sound to be a little more reliant on organic instruments. Yeah, like it feels like I'm bringing in organic drum sounds. I'm still programming them. I'll go play them eventually. I just don't have the resources to do it yet. But I am trying to make more organic instruments a big part of my sound moving forward. And so I think it's going to be kind of heading that way, unfortunately. But I'm trying to take all the things that I learned through making Chillwave, Chillsynth, whatever you want to call it, making that for the last couple of years, and just find ways to like blend it all together. And I am gonna, I mean, we'll see, but I am planning once I finish a record for this year, which is probably going to come out end of October. Then I'm planning on doing a lot more vocal driven stuff too. So that's going to change. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just, like someone said here, yeah, do the music you like more. That's all I'm trying to do. So I totally get it if it's like not as interesting to certain people. So yeah, I don't know. Totally cool. Okay, now that those are all frozen, make the music you like. I love it. That's it. So I've got my drum presets now. I have like quote unquote live drums. It's still samples, but it's stuff I recorded at my old studio, mixed with some libraries, and then I use like kind of more electronic samples as well. So I have this like kind of wild setup here. I still have something left over from the last one. But I think we'll just start with like the quote unquote kit, the live kit. Again, it ain't live. It's just stuff I recorded at my old studio. But yeah, we'll start there and just, I don't know, I think this is going to be, the way the rhythm has been put together, I think it's going to be a little constricting in what we can do on a drum kit, because, I mean, you kind of have to follow that rhythm of the bass. But that's okay. I mean, it was kind of built with that in mind. So, where's my drums MIDI? Okay, let's just clear out the clips here so I can start fresh. Okay, I'm just going to build out the kick drum. Oh, cool. You know what, like Collide was a weird track for me because I was trying to be as minimalist as possible. And I'm trying to think of what the guitar is. I'll have to go back and listen to it. But yeah, like that whole track, I was trying to be so subtle. It was an experiment. I really believe in just releasing, unless it's obviously not good. I mean, who knows? Maybe it is obviously not good even though I'm releasing it. But I try to like just try things, push my comfort zone, and release it anyway. And I found Collide was one of those tracks where I was like, I think I was just trying to do something super tight sounding, super simple, super minimalist. And so that's interesting. I appreciate the feedback. I'm going to go after this, listen to that guitar and see what kind of filtering I did for it. Okay, so let's get some drums going here. So snares are going to be 2 and 4. So just for like, so you can hear the tones, I'm mostly using stuff I recorded in my old studio. So I've got, for any of you guys familiar with Get Good Drums, I'm using their stuff to supplement, but I'm mostly just using Trigger with sounds that I recorded in my old studio. And for kick and snare, I don't find, like that's a sound I recorded in my old studio. I don't find I have much good tom sounds, so I usually use something like Get Good Drums. But the kick and snare are mostly stuff that I recorded in, like I said, in my old studio back in Edmonton, Alberta. Okay, let's just get the obvious groove going. Hey, James. Hey, buddy. How you doing? I'm sure there's a huge delay here, so. Okay. Is that another kick there? James, for anyone else here, James and I played in a band together. Oh, I feel like it's coming up on 20 years ago. That's how old we are. And we're possibly doing a reunion show, maybe in the new year. And it was like, it's this old band called Of Angels. It was like, I don't know, James, I feel like maybe somewhere in the realm of like Under Oath, Thrice, kind of like that old screamo, post-hardcore kind of stuff. And yeah, hopefully we get to do it, but yeah. Okay, let's keep going here. Wish it was a little more exciting. Oh, I missed it on there. Okay, maybe we could change. I'm gonna modify a few things here. So I'm just gonna change the pattern. And then I'll have to go back and change the pads pattern. I mean, again, we're gonna replay this anyway, so. That's not right at the end there, is it? Boom, boom, boom. Do a little fill there. And when I'm doing these drums, I do like to, even if I'm doing electronic sounds, I still like to have it make sense from a drummer's perspective. Like I like to avoid, you know, parts that would require 3 arms to play, you know. So, what am I doing here? Oh, wrong grid. I don't know. Just again, it's kind of relates to the idea of being able to play this live. It's kind of something I'm really focused on these days. Drums. I love the drums in Amnesia. I didn't particularly love that song. It was okay, and it didn't do that great. But something about the kick drum in Amnesia, I really liked how it was round, but it still came out like it had this nice like lower mid kind of, well, not like kind of mid range, like 1.5K thing going on. I think a lot of that though is the instruments around it, because I did import the kick drum from Amnesia into other songs and it just didn't work as well. I mean, that's the thing with mixing, everything's contextual, right? I don't really love that. Let's try something like this. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna duplicate that front half and then we'll maybe start adding some cymbals. So this is kind of something new I'm doing with the drums is introducing these organic elements. So like drums like Amnesia are completely electronic samples. So. do right now is I'm going to give these a slight timing variation. So this is, I could do this a couple ways. I could either just play this pattern, or if I want to be a little lazy, I can just quantize but give it a randomization value. I don't like to go too far because of sidechain timing, but I'm going to give it a randomization of 10. I think. So it's like not quite perfect. I don't always do this. Sometimes I leave it just right on the grid, but yeah. Oh, and another, no, just a Pro Tools glitch. I can't like record. It goes out of time as soon as I engage the record. Okay, so I'm gonna do some hats now. I'm almost ashamed to show this, but I do like to play the hats on the keys these days, just to give it a little bit of feel. Something we used to do in the old studio is even if we're programming the shells, we'd still bring, like, mic up a hi-hat and play it. But I don't have one right now, so I'm just gonna play it on the keyboard. Okay, I'm just gonna improvise something there and we'll see. Probably hear I played one. Let's bring that back. I played one or a couple hi-hats over a drum fill, so I'll just have to take those out. But I didn't mind that. That felt. I like the second half or the. Let's roll with it. Whatever. So those are 30-second notes. I'm going to quantize them for now, but I'm going to leave it at 80% strength just to give it a little feel. Yeah, that looks okay. Once we get to this part, then I'll copy this into the electronic samples, because this is feeling a little too organic for me. But so anyway, I just copy this MIDI information and merge it with what's there already. What did I do wrong? There we go. Oh my goodness. Seems the mapping is not the same. Oh boy, that timing is no good. Nope. Let me just look through this. Oh, and the other reason I didn't play it right off the downbeat is because, again, thinking of a drummer, I'm assuming a drummer is going to hit a cymbal there, like a crash or whatnot. Maybe not in the beginning of this, but certainly at the halfway. There's probably going to be a cymbal there. So imagine like... That one's out it over top of the fill. So I could probably play a hat over these two kicks at the beginning, but I would say probably, well, no, I think that's realistic for a drummer. Okay, I'm going to start bringing in the electronic sounds because I think this is a good time for it. So we'll see what presets I have connected to this particular session. So I'm just copying the MIDI up to my kind of electronic group, quote unquote. So my more sample-based drum group. So I'm just copying the MIDI so there's no like phase issues. And then let's load up a patch here. Okay, where are we here? No idea. Drum samples. Let's just go into the kick. It's nice because those electronic samples give the sound a bit more consistency. So I want a little bit of variance from the organic drums, but the consistency is really nice with the synthetic drums. Kill that guitar for now, it's kind of bothering me. Loading up the synthetic hats. We'll see what kind of sound I got and see if it works. Okay, and I think we got a mapping issue here, so I just gotta do this, yes. I think I had retro color on. Just a little too much on the retro color. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Rudolph Star, yeah. Thank you. Thanks for coming in and saying that. Appreciate it. Okay, where are we here? So another thing that might be cool for the build is to have maybe the first time we hit this, just no hat. Maybe we'll do that. Let's actually copy this whole section here. Oh, hey, look who it is. That Jordan is my wife. So in case you're wondering who that is, oh, hey. She's currently sharpening me and my son's skates. Well, not her herself. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, okay, so we're gonna do this, I got this section labeled B. I'm gonna rearrange this after because I don't know the structure. But in this B section, I'm going to remove, where the heck is it? Why am I not seeing anything? I'm gonna remove the hats that we just made. So we'll kind of like look at this first section here. We'll look at this first section with no hats. I gotta move the rest of the stuff in, but that'll probably be how it starts. In the C section, which is next, and that'll be a way to build it up to bring in the hats. And then the C section, we can start bringing in more things. So legit, yeah. Okay, but I don't want the same fill each time, so I gotta go in and change this. I almost wouldn't mind something simple, just that maybe ends on a snare flam. Actually, I should do this on the organic drums first. So this will be coming out of the B section. You know what, I'm not using the guitar and the ARP right now because they're just getting a little distracting. So I'm just gonna unfreeze the pad and the bass, and then that way we can make changes as we go. Okay, so this is now in the B section, same with the pad. Okay, and that's just the live drums. So I kind of want this to end with a flam. So I kind of wouldn't mind like a, why am I not hearing hat? Oh, I muted the cymbals, that's why. Yeah, so yeah, to Uncle Chunky to answer that, like, I don't think I've released a single song that doesn't have guitar. No, I haven't. So, but I do try and, like, in some cases, like, I know some of my earlier stuff, like a song like Starbeam, I tried to make it super, super subtle. If I remember Starbeam correctly, it's mostly just like a plucky kind of almost reggae inspired, like little rhythm. Actually, I think on Collide it's something similar, like a and whatnot. So very, very subtle, but yeah, totally get it, man. Totally get it. Like, I struggle with this a lot. I mean, I don't know if my wife is still in here, but Jordan, but I constantly tell her, as soon as I add guitar, it's not cool anymore, but I just have to do it. I don't know. Bum, bum, bunk. Yeah, maybe we could just keep that like a steady bum, bum, bunk. Okay, let's copy this up here to our synthetic drum kit, and don't need that. Why am I not hearing anything? Oh, I know. You have to move this up an octave. Fix that pattern now that I wanted to change. Okay, so right here. Bum, bum. Switch this to 8th notes, I guess. No, that's the grade is on. Oh, it's on 32nd. I wonder. Modify that here. place to modify the top note. That might get crunchy. Oh, I don't mind that. Let's maybe delete that top note. You get this little melody with inside the chords. Don't give me wrong, I still very much enjoy Amnesia, Multiversal, Departure, Dream. Yeah, they're cool. Yeah, those a lot of my older songs. Yeah, I liked Departure was a funny song because I was honestly not going to release it because I was just like, it's just slow and I don't know. I didn't feel like excited, and I struggled in a lot of those earlier songs to like get an emotion attached to it, and I felt like Departure. It almost felt like it was just missing some like substance that, like the thing you can't really like define. It just had like some emotion that, or it was missing some emotion for me. But then I released it, and then it got added to a Spotify editorial, and like that was kind of a wake up call for me to be like, just release everything because you never know who's gonna like it. And you know, here we go. Like I did like Dreaming in Digital, but Amnesia and Multiversal, both, and Departure, all three of those songs I was debating not releasing. So it's good to hear that like people are enjoying it, and it's again just a reminder to just release everything. Within reason, yeah. I actually really don't like that now that I hear it. I'm gonna undo all that stuff I just did. Yuck. Yeah, that's not, I don't like that at all. Not my vibe. Oh, that's the part I want to hear. Okay, I'm gonna do something right now where I introduce some effects. So I have this like standard group of effects that includes a bunch of risers, swells, cymbals, even some like vocal drones and some ambient noises. So I'm actually going to start with the vocal drones because I just love them. So this is going to get a bit annoying, but I have like just some basic samples I use, and then I tune them to the song whenever I am trying a new song. So this will sound awful for a second. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, I do plan on like singing in this project eventually. Like my plan is to finish this record. I'm gonna be releasing it like in Canada if I want to apply for like awards like Juno Awards, and you kind of have to release in October, end of October. So I'm gonna probably do that. And then moving forward, my release schedule is probably gonna slow down a lot because doing vocals is gonna slow me down. But yeah, I don't know where it's gonna be. I don't know if it's gonna turn into like alt pop or whatnot, but I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I do plan on adding a lot of vocals. So. Okay, so the vocal drums are in there. So something I like to do is use these as kind of a way to build the story. So I'm not sure if you can see this. Kind of get a good chunk of the screen. Okay, so I usually like fade them in. I have a feeling this song actually is gonna have like 3 main parts. So I'm gonna move everything over from where it was. It was on the B, C, D. Now I'm gonna move it to the A, B, C. I should clarify, like for album release, I struggle with this because like singles just do better, like on streaming platforms and whatnot. So an album is probably going to be filled with songs that I've already released. I was hoping to do like at least 5 to 7 tracks that haven't been released on there. So that's the goal, but a lot of it will be filled with stuff you've heard. So just to preface before setting too high of expectations. Anyways, who knows, maybe this song will be on there. Why am I not hearing drums? Some kind of filtering or... Oh, solo, dummy. Oh, that's cool. So I probably had some leftover automation from a previous track, but I've got a filter on here, which is pretty cool. Where is that filter even coming from? Oh, yeah. Cool. I might stick with that. I actually kind of enjoy that. That can be a cool way for us to like just get a little bit of a intro here. But this is something I struggle with, is like I never know what to do for intros beyond what I'm already doing, and I don't know how many songs I've done where it comes in with like a filtered drum and it just gets old. But I just always like it, so I'm like, I don't know. Maybe we can start the song like that. Like start with the filter right off the bat. I think this is gonna work. And then we can still come in with no hats as originally planned. Let's see if that... I'll have to really work on that filter, but I have to apply it to other instruments as well, but... And then... adjust that. This release of the filter has to come after the... Okay, there must be something else going on. Oh, I have decapitator. No. Little plates. No. Band 2. Okay, and then I can use some risers or whatnot to emphasize that part. Yeah, have I done a... Well, I guess sort of. I haven't done a fade out where it's like the full track. I've only done fade outs where it's like maybe there's one instrument remaining. Actually, I think I did that on Amnesia, speaking of which. I thought it was like the... something like that at the end. I don't remember. Okay, let's just see what... some of my risers need to be tuned because they have like a tonal center, like that one. Sounds like it needs to go up one. Yeah, there we go. So again, just tuning risers to match the key. Okay, there's some weird thing happening with the drums here. It's like a phasing issue, but I'll work that out later. I don't know if it's like a filter releasing at the wrong time, but... Oh, appreciate that. Thanks, Reflex. Okay, so I think what I'd like to do here is I'd like that all to really swell up and then it just come down to something really tight. So sometimes I'll do this where I'll take my, I don't know how well you can see this, I'll take my drone tracks and instead of them like building through that change, I'll kind of have them start at 0 again. I do this every few songs here. So like, I have essentially these 4 tracks that are vocal drones, right? And I'm gonna cut them all here. This section where I just made a cut is the end of the filtered intro. And just to give that section some space, I'll fade them all back from 0. And I think I said we're going to section D here, so... And then I'll slowly fade them back in as the song develops so that you just get a little bit more energy at a time, or as it goes. Okay, so something like that. And then I'll just cut them again. And I gotta work on that cut, but that cut I just made will be sort of like, let's call that our first breakdown. So with that idea in mind, now we have a structure where we have an intro, which is going to be filtered, an A section, which will probably have no hats, B section, the hats come in, and then the C section, we got to find something to bring it up a little bit and pull, and then after that we'll go into a breakdown to give the listener a break. So kind of have a structure starting to emerge, which is cool, but... There's just a little much on the swell up there for me. Low pass filter for introducing a drum sounds great. Okay, cool. Yeah, like this is the kind of thing I struggle with. I'm like, all I do is low pass filter. But I just like it. I don't know. I'll probably spend a lot of time on that after this is all done, like this live stream, just to like iron out the details, essentially. I think I'm happy with that for now, just to outline the idea. Bring in some Justin Bieber vocals. You know what's funny, James, is like, I'm not sure if you were on when I first started, but I was talking about how I got this progression in my head earlier. I think I was in the shower or something and I just heard dum, boom, boom. And like, you and I both know that was so 2015, 2018. And it's funny you bring up Sorry by Biebs because that song came out at that time, right? So I'll look into it. I'll try getting out the vocal sampler and seeing if I can make something cool. But I also don't want to make it sound like it's dated, you know? So... But I think that's a good idea. I'm probably not going to do that on the live stream because I'm not as good at that, so that will take me some time. But I used to do that in Logic a lot, but I have to figure out what would be the best way in Pro Tools to do it. But yeah, that actually confirms my thoughts about it feeling a little like mid-2010s pop. Okay, I think we're kind of at the point where we can start laying it out a little bit. So let's see here. Just gonna arrange my markers. And again, I know like my structures get a little repetitive here, but that's music, I suppose. Oops. So I'm going to just build a rough outline. I usually just build a rough outline like this, and if it feels good, I'll stick with it. If not, I will modulate from there. So this is a good spot to just kind of take what we have and loop it. So I would say for the breakdown, oh, okay, I need to move. Yeah, so the idea was to move those over. Okay, so I think in the breakdown, I don't want to have filtered drums because there's been no break for the listener up to that point. So I'm probably going to keep it empty in terms of drums. So for now, I'm just going to duplicate what we have. It's a quick way to do it. I'm not saying it's the right way. I usually just go in and tweak it and change it because I don't think the song should be just loop. Like we've built out the build, and we just loop it. It needs to have like some, at least some character that changes in the back half. But this is just the easy way to get started. It's just to give it a loop. And actually those pads I could probably, well here, let's just do this. And then I guess the ARP is frozen, the guitar. Guitar is a little harder to just kind of do this, but let's get the ARP back in. And so for the ARP, I don't think I'll have it the whole way. So in the beginning, I've got the intro section, which is filter drums. A section, which has like, the drums come in but no hat. I'll probably bring that ARP in on the B section with the filter, quite filtered. And then the C section, that could be something that I shoot the filter forward so that the ARP brings the energy up. After that, I'll probably keep the ARP in for the rest of the song, but filter it quite heavily. So like when it goes into the breakdown, I might wash it out with a huge reverb and bring the filter down. And then work on bringing it back up to the end. So I've kind of laid it out here. I don't know how well you can see this, but I've kind of laid it out so that the ARP, once it comes in, it doesn't leave. Oop, I actually got rid of one by accident. Okay. And we can do the same with our drones. So I'm just gonna get these prepped. So we're just gonna gradually build these up until the end of the song. And then usually I just have one ringing out at the end. I don't like when they're all ringing out, but yeah, I just have one ringing out at the end for like a, just kind of fade with the ending. If we do a fade out, then yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Okay. So that like comes together pretty quick. It's kind of the full outline of a rough structure. Let's do this. So what I like to do with my risers is just to make it easy, I'm probably going to do a riser. If I need it, I'm probably going to do it every 8 bars to introduce the next section. So what I typically do is I just loop them. And then, so they're all where they may be. And then I'll just mute them if I don't need it. So that's part of the detail work after. It's like, when do I want certain risers? Yeah, sorry, James. That's what I mean. Is like the Skrillex, like that whole 2018, 2015, like DJ Snake, Diplo, Skrillex, vocal samples. That's all done on the ES24 on Logic. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about Bieber like singing. I'm talking about that vocal sound. Yeah. So anyway, to go back to that, I'll do the same for any sub effects. So like I'll have these like sweeping subs. I don't know if you can even hear that over the phone. And then I'll have bass drops. which I've been overusing lately, so I've been avoiding them a bit here. I'll also have reverse cymbals. Yeah. Those are cool. It's got a pretty hefty LFO on it. I haven't been using these lately, but I have like background noises just for like vibe. Yeah, like I have like a construction sound, crickets, city streets, rain and whatnot. I haven't used it lately because I don't know, I'm just over it, but good reference. I'll have to check out those references, James. But yeah, no, I totally know what you mean about the vocal samples. It's like you create a vocal sample and play it. I know exactly what you mean, but there must be a delay here, yeah. But yeah, James, yeah, a lot of that's exactly what I'm referring to. The playing the vocal samples. Yeah, I'll try it for you and see if it works. But I just don't want it to feel dated. But you're right, Charlie XCX is bringing that stuff back. So yeah, who knows? This is hilariously not a Chillsynth song and just a pop song, but that's okay, I guess. Whatever. Okay, I'm just gonna probably just lay this guitar out roughly where it was. Like, I guess I have to move it back and then bring it into the ending. And I don't know, that's kind of like a good first draft already. Let's do one more thing just to make it a little less pop. I think for anyone who's been here since the beginning, the bass that we originally had was a classic synthwave, bum 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 bum. That we ended up muting because I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. But I think we need something that's doing that like synthwave vibe so it doesn't sound too pop, especially if we're gonna try some vocal samples later. So I'm gonna try what I call wubs. Wub, 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 wub. So they'll just be chords, and so we should be able to just, for now, do this. So I'm just gonna steal the arpeggio chords, and I don't know if I'll replay wubs. Usually I like, oh my goodness. Those are pretty sick already. I think that's for anyone who knows my catalog, I think that's the preset from the song Spheres. Pretty sure that's exactly it. Okay, let's adjust it a little. This is Serum 1, which I just find there's more. Do I have spheres? Well, okay, let's just save this as, I just find there's more flexibility in Serum 2, so I'm just going to quickly adjust this. Serum 2. And then S1 presets. Babbage, songs, spheres. What? Well, that's annoying. Where is it? Maybe I gotta re-engage or something. S1 presets. Wubs. Okay, songs, spheres. Oh, well, that's annoying. Okay, well, fun. Okay, I need to. Oh, actually, I got spheres. Yeah, well, today. Why is that not loading? Okay, I wonder if I can load this from file. Menu. Import preset. Load preset. And Babbage. Songs. Nope. Serum 2. Presets. S1 presets. Okay, we're gonna figure this out. I think it maybe has to be like the database has to be reloaded with a new session. So there we go. Okay, that is wild. I'm just gonna make that. It's just a little thick on the low mid, so I'm gonna use Soothe to manage that. There's a frequency right there. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm just gonna get Soothe to kind of follow that bottom end like node, and I think that'll help. Now, I think in this case, I'm gonna mono-sum that and find a slot within the stereo image for it, because the pads are really wide, and I feel like this needs to find a spot. Might be worth going up an octave. I don't usually do that kind of thing, but I don't mind it. Got all out of sync there. Okay, I think that's a first draft. From here on in, it's essentially all detail work. The drums and chord combination work so well. Awesome, cool. Yeah, I mean, definitely, James, I still hear it too. I definitely eye roll a little bit when I still hear it. So, yeah, I haven't done a lead part yet. So, could do one right now. I kind of feel like this is a good point to just like just let it sit for a minute. Yeah, a guitar could work as a lead. Uncle Chunky's still here, right? Yeah. So one thing I try to do to avoid like the guitar being like we were talking about, like how it like I find it gets less cool. yeah, I try to come up with a synth lead. I struggled with synth leads for so long. I just was so unhappy with everything. But I feel like lately I've been really happy with what I'm doing. So I'll probably come up with a synth lead. This was my first ever live stream, so any feedback is welcome. I know it's probably not the greatest to have this angle. Okay, couple thoughts. I wasn't sure if I should do vertical or horizontal. I chose vertical because I thought most people would be coming from their phones. I don't have the software and the gear to do like multi-camera and run the Pro Tools audio. Maybe I'll get there. I just thought just to start, keep it simple and, you know, have the phone up, have the audio, I can talk, you can see what I'm doing. And I do have it, like, you can probably see this, I do have it up here so I can see the chat at least, but yeah, never count out a theremin. That would be sick. If someone could throw a theremin on there, that would be awesome. That would be amazing. But yeah, I don't know, I'm pretty happy with this. There's so much detail work to do. I would say an average song takes me about 8 to 10 hours of work. And what are we at here? 120. So we're 2 hours and 7 minutes in. So obviously a ton of detail work to do, refining parts. I'm going to go through and play everything again. I really believe, I shouldn't say everything, most things I'm going to play again. Especially things like pads, any leads I like to play, guitars will be played again, the bass will be played. I might leave the bass, no, the bass will be played because it's kind of like it's not like a pulsing boom, 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 where you want it to be really locked in. I mean, you do want it to be locked in, but you get what I'm saying. But for the most part, I got to go through everything and play everything, work on the transitions, work on the build, do all the automation and whatnot. Yeah. I will probably release this song, and I'll probably release it pretty soon. I got a song coming out. I'm skipping this week. I'm moving to a 2-week schedule. It gives me more time to make videos and share content. But so who knows? I'll probably release this in a month or so, or maybe in 3 weeks or so. We'll see. It just depends how quickly I can get it done. So great for a second. Awesome. Thanks for the feedback there, Uncle Chunky. Yeah, thanks to everyone who came. There's 4 people left here, so that was fun. But I think I'm gonna wrap it there, and I'm gonna let it sit for a couple days. I like to put things away so that I can get fresh perspective. So I'll probably leave it there. So, yeah, thanks for coming, team. I'm gonna shut her down now. So, yeah, message me if you have any thoughts, whether it be on the song or the live stream itself. But yeah, a lot of fun. Okay, I'm gonna end it. Cheers.